Yes, hello everyone. You're most welcome to this English session on a training about how to keep chicken. In this training, we are going to see how chicken farming occurs in different parts of the country. We are going to look at the different breeds of chicken, the importance of chicken farming, and also considerations you make when you choosing a chicken enterprise. Let us start with the distribution of chicken in the country as per 2017. When you look at this map, you find that they put out how different systems are distributed as of 2017. The green, this green represents free range. These are chicken you leave to scavenge around for their own food. Semi-intensive, this is when you provide chicken with feeds and to a large extent it is commercial. You keep them when you're aiming at harvesting money or income out of your birds. Then intensive, this is like mainly you keeping hybrid or pure lines. We shall see layers and broilers. And when you look at the distribution, you can see that around central Uganda we are having intensive chicken farming dominating, and that means that central Uganda challenges to poultry production are somehow different to challenges for people from other regions: West Nile, Mid-North, Northeast, Mid-Eastern, Southwestern, and Midwestern. Surprisingly, towards Congo, where I would assume we would have a lot of chicken products being exported, still by that time intensive production had not overtaken semi-intensive and free range. So in other regions, or in most of the regions, majority we still have farmers depending on free range, where free range is dominating. And when you look at chicken per square kilometer, you can also see how they are distributed along this map. So let us see the importance of chicken farming. Number one, chicken are converters. They convert animal protein or other forms of protein into chicken. If you want chicks, or to have a bigger chicken farm, they also convert these into chicken meat and eggs. So you're having rice, maize, beans, soy, a big number of crop proteins can be converted by chicken into these products. and we can say that chicken does value addition on this. Secondly, chicken is the most important source of income to the rural poor because they need limited housing. You don't have to spend a lot of money on procuring housing, space and equipment for birds, and also you spend less on feeds. They are even good converters. They convert waste feeds or wastes into feeds, and also they have very important protein. Chicken nearly can be eaten by majority of people on earth. They eat chicken meat without problems. We use them for our social culture functions. In some areas, when you go to your in-laws, you carry chicken. Here, when it comes to chicken breeds, it's very important to note that we have over 300 breeds domesticated and being kept. However, for commercial purposes, we can categorize the commercial chicken breeds into three, and the three divisions of commercial breeds depend on the aim to why they are being kept. Here as displayed, we have A, which are layers, B, broilers, and C, the dual-purpose chicken. Now, layers are efficient at laying eggs and also cost effective because of their lightweight. So most of the feed will be used in producing eggs instead of maintaining the heavy bird. Broilers are heavier. They grow very fast and quickly reach market or slaughter weight. Here in Uganda, within 6 weeks, the bird is supposed to have reached the common market weight, much as some farmers, because people buy really chicken that are not very heavy, around 1 kilogram or plus some few grams, within 4 weeks you should be able to sell many of your birds. Then we have the dual purpose. These ones are efficient at laying eggs, but also at the end of the laying session they are somehow heavy, and you can also sell them for meat, which is a common practice in Uganda. Here are the examples. You can see this leghorn white, which is an efficient layer, is 6 weeks, and the broilers are also 6 weeks. You can see that the broilers have put on a lot of weight, and the layer has not put on a lot of weight. When you look at the legs here are tall and somehow small. These ones have shorter legs and stout, but when you look at the shape of these two, you can see the dual purpose Rhode Island red. There is an overlap, relatively sharing some aspects of the Leghorn white in terms of the legs, and the body tries to resemble that of the broiler. Unfortunately, even where farmers are supposed to be keeping Leghorn white, those farmers who are doing intensive egg production, they do keep the dual purpose bird, which is expensive to maintain because of its heavy body. So egg production, really, we have to be shifting from these ones where there is really intensive farming, like in central Uganda, to the white Leghorn white, to save on feeds. Putting the commercial breeds aside, we come to the local breeds. Of course, these are very important in Uganda, because if you remember the distribution of how chicken were distributed around different regions in Uganda, you find that most of the regions are dominated by the free range system, and the free range system is suitable to the local chickens mainly, because these ones are adapted to the local conditions and they can scavenge around for feeds. Also, you cannot multiply the commercial breeds because the productivity is likely to decline with successive generations. For our case, we have three categories. We have the freezed. This one is so much productive. We also have the naked neck. This kind of bird has sweet meat. It can produce up to around between 120 and 150 eggs a year. It has less feathers compared to other birds. Therefore, it is likely to maintain a high production considering the kind of temperatures in Uganda. Unfortunately, they are not very common, much as I would recommend them because of their potential. Then we have the dwarf local chicken. These ones produce around 50 eggs per year, so they are less productive, although they are very common. Choosing the right chicken breeds for your enterprise. The purpose of this first presentation was to look at the considerations before you choose a breed of chicken. Of course, we have looked at things like location, the breed, the importance of chicken, and now we are looking at some of the questions you have to ask yourself. Of course, looked at broilers, and since we mostly have the dual purpose chicken, layers have put the dual purpose, but I told you the Leghorn white is more effective and it saves on feed. And we have the where we are having semi-intensive. Farmers are looking at keeping chicken for both their home needs and selling some chicken for their to get some income. We can start looking at systems like this one. But what considerations? Because here we have 3: local, layers, and broilers. What pushes you? Let us look at what makes you decide. I've put up some questions that can guide a farmer on making a decision. Number 1 is management. Your management skills, the time you have for the farm. If you find you have less time for your farm and you don't have good management skills, you're better off doing local chicken or the semi-intensive for that case. The local preference. Especially in rural settings, people prefer local eggs and local chicken. If you look at areas where we are mainly having free range dominating, probably markets in such areas prefer that kind of chicken and chicken eggs. Experience. If you're inexperienced, you are not used to chicken diseases, you don't know the dynamics of keeping chicken, or you're new to the business and you don't have somebody on whose experience you're going to ride, please start with few birds, and also you're better off starting with the local birds to avoid the risk of losing your money. We have the market situation. When it comes to market situation, you have to look at the market. What's the demand for eggs and chicken meat, or chicken themselves, or chicks? That will propel you on how much you can produce. Also consider whether there is supply of the inputs. Here, when we talk about inputs, we mean feeds. If you're going to keep commercial breeds, they need well balanced feeds. You need equipment for the chicken, and also proper housing, equipment for proper housing. You need veterinary services and drugs. So if they're available, you can do commercial breeds. If they're not available, you're better off doing the local breeds that don't involve investing a lot of direct cash, and also they are well adapted to the local environment. Then available breeds. Here we mean the before you think of keeping commercial breeds, ensure that the chicks belonging to that kind of breeds are available in your area. Preference. Yes, as I told you, for where people are doing intensive egg production, they're better off producing using Leghorn white. They are more efficient than the dual purpose and less costly. However, there is a general perception that the market prefers the brown eggs, and some work must be done to ensure that people change this kind of perception. Then we got the price. This one determines the margin on the between how much you get from the output compared to how much you invest on the input. The magnitude of that margin should be able to motivate you so that you enjoy the work of keeping chicken. Thank you very much for watching.